What's going on, YouTube? I'm back with the RC4wd Trailfinder 2 short wheelbase Amigo build. Make sure we're all on the same page here since I keep jockeying bodies around different frames. Last video we did talked about how I wasn't happy with how the Amigo was working out. I got this new body, I didn't want to hack it up, so I put it on the short wheelbase Trailfinder 2 that I built. And I was saving my Jeep YJ body for my other chassis that I had this body on, but I'm going to have to completely tear it down and redo that. So, in the meantime, I've moved the Amigo body to this chassis, interior and everything, and I stole the electronics from that truck, so hopefully we can get this bad boy running. Now, I've worked out rear body mounts, but I have yet to come up with a solution for the front. And I'm not sure how it's going to happen in this video, so I may end up just zip tying the front down so we can do a test run, see what it looks like. But yeah, let me walk you through some of what I've done already. Alright, in the front here you can see I had to make some modifications to clear my ESC. Space is very limited on this due to my complete full floor interior, and I'm still not sure how I'm going to work out the battery. But I did clearance this out. This used to all be one piece. I had to leave these mounts because that's how the grill shell mounts to it. And my ESC needed just a little bit more room. Plus, I didn't want it up against the flat surface. So now, as little air as it's going to get air through the actual grill. And so will the motor and everything. So, kind of a neat thing. I was happy with how that turned out. Still pretty tight. I mean, my motor wires come out of the side. This is a Novak Rooster Crawler ESC. They come up and turn around, and they're pretty close to that bolt, that little mounting point. So it's going to fit snug, but I still haven't found a way to mount this to the front of the body. There's just nothing on here. There's two mounting holes about here going that way on the inside, and they're too far out past the frame rails. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. You can see down here this was the original mounting tabs that the RC4wd bracket set down on in the Jeep bumper and bolted down to, and my bumper sits right on top of those, and that makes it fit perfectly level. So I'm not sure yet about the front, but let me go ahead and show you how I did the back. Alright, so I took the chrome plastic bumper off. Used to mount into those holes. And these holes lined up perfectly with as far as level, they lined up perfectly with the bracket for the Jeep body mounts in the back. But this body is longer in the back, so they didn't reach, and they would have been out further to the sides, and I didn't want to drill any more holes because we already have this set of holes, which I don't know. I think those were the original body mount to the Tamiya chassis, and I didn't want to drill anything else back there. So I took the RC4wd bracket off, took the original body post off, and I measured it and marked and drilled my own holes the width that I needed, and then I just used some longer bolts and some like sleeve spacers like this, and luckily I had some that were the perfect length to fit between the original bracket and the body. I can't really show you that just yet. I've got the interior in, and once I pull it, I got to take it's not easy to get off. I've got to hold the nut from the back and take them out. It's easier to get off than it is to put on, I guess. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull that off and show you on the inside. All right, here's a good shot of what I did back here. You see, I moved the holes in on the bracket here, and I just put a nut on from the back side, and that gets my wheelbase pretty well squared away. And let me show you on the inside. Got tons of room. Everything's in the front. The only thing that's going to have to be back here somewhere with the body is my battery. And I did mock it up earlier with the stick pack in here, somewhere like that, with the interior on top of it, and it worked. But my connector won't reach, for one, because my ESC is all the way in the front, and Two, it made the interior setup just a little high. So, and another thing I haven't addressed yet is how I'm going to attach the interior. I put it in there, especially with the battery, and it doesn't move, but it needs to be fastened somehow. It looks like I'm gonna. I've got some ideas making some angled brackets inside here. I've got a lot of holes here on the side of the frame that I could utilize and make the interior screw into it. I'm not sure exactly about all that yet. I haven't mocked anything up. Once I get the front of the body mounted, then we'll start worrying about interior position and seeing where we can get it. And then once I get the interior finalized, then we can finally seriously look at where to put the battery, because it's got to be, for me, it's got to be fit and finish first. So if I need to buy a smaller battery, I'll get another battery. If I can make the stick pack work after everything's in place, I'll make the stick pack work. But I'm going to go ahead and pop the body off here and kind of show you where I'm at with electronics. Alright, this organized mess. Got my RC4wd drive twister high torque servo, my Spectrum SR3300T. I don't even remember where I got that one. It just what was in the other Amigo chassis. My rooster crawler ESC, and underneath here is a 55 turn Novak something crawler motor. I don't even know. And I got all my wiring tied down. My plugs here are about 4mm from the bottom of the hood at the height that when the body's level. So everything's gonna clear. I've got a little room for more wiring in case I need to add lights or something. The only issue I have right now is this connector on the front of the ESC sticks forward just a little too far. So I need to tie those wires back a little tighter. But we got it good enough for a test drive. I think I can go ahead and put the body mounts on the rear. I'm going to leave the interior out for right now just so I can get a battery in there and where it'll reach. So I'll have to put it up here pretty high. And yeah, I may put the tray back on and we'll see what we can come up with here. I had to get a battery charging for the test run. I thought I'd show you the interior, how it fits. I did put the battery tray back in and it sets nice and flush on that. It really couldn't have fit any better if I'd have built it just for the short wheelbase chassis. You can see the maybe the R3 is offset and it fits perfectly with the clearance I made. And remember, the truck I had this in had an R1, had the old R1 transmission, so just got lucky there. The only thing I didn't need on this was the tunnel to be so giant. Everything else, the transfer case is completely below the floorboard line, so once you get past this point on the transmission, everything fits underneath the floorboard completely. So I know I've seen some small lipos. I don't know if I get lucky enough that one would fit in there perfectly and I could just box it in from the bottom. But that would solve a lot of problems, and that would put my connector right here where it needs to be. But yeah, we'll have to worry about that later. But turning around here and show you the back. I'll slid over. The back is giving me some trouble because there's nothing underneath it. The floor is higher in the back because the chassis that it was on had didn't have quite the big a hump right here. Shock tires still fit perfectly, but I've got all this space, so it wants to fall back like that, and it needs to be up here. So I've got some reinforcements to make there. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to use for that yet, but I'll figure something out here once we get closer. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and see if we can run this thing. Alright guys, it lives. It is a little sluggish. And remember I said there was some kind of resistance between the transmission and transfer case, and you can kind of feel it You can hear it chugging. I did clearance the fender wells just a tiny little bit. I need to do a little more on the front bumper, but everything's working. Steering's aligned pretty well. Let's see what kind of flex we can get out of it, if any. Well, yep. There is absolutely no weight in the back. I've got a battery in the middle and everything else is up front. And just dropping it, you can feel a major difference in the way the front suspension acts as opposed to the way the rear suspension acts. The rear suspension doesn't even want to flex, so the front one will give a little bit. Like I said, this chassis is not going to be the greatest rock crawler ever, but sure is scale. Full leaf springs. And pretty dang good looking body. But anyway, it's already dark, so I can't get it outside and really spread its legs a little bit, but hopefully we can do that sometime soon. But anyways, thank y'all for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for more.